A woman who had given up on life when diagnosed with a rare brain disorder recovered from a suicide attempt to leave a lasting legacy with her efforts to raise awareness of the condition. In April 2013, Maija Bergs was diagnosed with progressive supranuclear palsy, PSP, a degenerative neurodisease that affects 6 in every 100,000 people worldwide, and has a life expectancy of only 7 years from when symptoms start. The 71-year-old, who lived in Church Lane, Chaldon with husband Martin, died on June 2 after the degenerative condition led to her falling out of bed and hitting her head. Her initial diagnosis had left her feeling so low she attempted to take her own life because she did not want to burden her family with her care. But in the years that followed, she recovered her positivity and sense of purpose, raising funds and awareness for PSP sufferers and ultimately donating her brain for research. In her eulogy, her husband said, "She felt it gave her life some purpose." Mr. Bergs, 73, is immensely proud of her willingness to talk openly about her condition and try to help others. "People haven't heard of PSP and it's such a dreadful condition that is often misdiagnosed," he said. "A lot of people have kept it all private, but we felt that the only way we can help other people is to raise awareness any way we can, and that's really Maija all the way down the line." Martin Bergs' wife Maija recently passed away from progressive supranuclear palsy. Image, Grant Melton. PSP typically comes on in late middle age and affects balance, mood, behavior, speech, swallowing and eye movement. There is no cure to the degenerative condition, so once symptoms have started, there is no way to stop it progressing. Treatment currently focuses on relieving symptoms, but research into treatment for the condition itself is ongoing. During her life, Mrs. Bergs was a social worker, a gardener at RHS Wisley, and a translator, speaking 5 languages. She was good at everything she tried, according to her husband. But it was her storytelling and imagination that will stay with him. He said, "I miss her stories. You basically had an everyday incident and she comes out with this elaborately colorful story that's nothing like the truth and everyone is in fits." I think that's what people remember of her most. If she was reading stories to children, then they'd be absolutely spellbound. One of the fundraising ideas the couple had was to write a book, Bonnie Bogle, featuring stickman-like characters they made together. They took pictures of Bonnie all over the country and turned it into a book which raised £3,000 for the PSP Association. After a 5-year battle, Mrs. Bergs died from a head injury after falling out of bed, having lost her sight, much of her movement and her independence. Martin Bergs with Bonnie Bogle, a character he and his wife made up for their book. Image, Grant Melton. However, it was not her death that represented the most difficult part of the process for Mr. Bergs. He said, "The sadness came when she was diagnosed because we knew what would happen. It's a terminal condition and after a year you become a carer, not a husband. She deteriorated and everything went bit by bit and she became totally dependent on me. I learned to do different things. When her eyesight went, we couldn't do jigsaws anymore, so I started reading to her and we'd write little poems together and put them up on Facebook." Son's heartbreaking tribute to Mom, 84, who died after Woking burglary. "If I could make her laugh then it was a much better day. She responded better and her movements were better, so I'd always try and keep her spirits up." If you want to contribute to helping people suffering from PSP, you can do it here.